nanongurarawa Nigo sana kodoe na mataka Pauna numa nananda tonlasa Mai subana numa tikona Fanwarongo nano monivanua Kenata nilevu tunaua Lomango voli meu bau batuka Tovolea ke balavu nabula Sana budoe namatake namataka
Ollie, can you hear us?
Oh, don't start that caper, John. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can see you, Ollie. Oh,
I'm not nipping down to Wallace to sort this out. I'm sorry.
I think he's frozen.
Yeah. I started the recording late today. What's up with me?
Well, maybe it's something to do with you, Colonel, then, why it doesn't work.
Don't blame me, no.
Yeah, probably John.
You and your dodgy editing when you put the Oscar tails on the end and they don't sync.
That happened one time, and I don't know why that happened.
Actually, it didn't. It happened again, but I didn't want to bollock you twice.
Well, I don't know why it's doing that, because I download it and something goes on between the download.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
it should work. The only thing is I don't convert it anymore because it was costing me 18 quid a month.
Oh, okay.
To subscribe.
I figured a way to download it through this, so it's a direct download, so hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
And it costs millions to put on, John, so...
Yeah, I know.
All that Oscar time.
Yeah. That's why if you look at the mug shots, I put post-production genius. You are, Fruity.
Well.
Where's our anchorman, by the way?
He had his hands in a washing he was washing some pots last time I saw him.
All right.
He had his,
Ollie.
his elbows in suds.
Yeah.
And he had his marigolds on.
Ollie, don't know what's going on with Ollie because it doesn't say he's muted. All right.
I can't even see Ollie.
Oh, he is moving.
Oh, Ollie's there. Can you hear us, Ollie?
Ollie.
No, we can't.
Ollie, can you hear us?
Okay, we will have to move on from that. So anyway, so it looks nice there in your back garden, right?
Yeah, we've had like 2 days of rain in the past like 2 months, but now they're talking about a big 40 degrees centigrade on Monday.
Yeah.
And I think
know. In fact,
you as well.
Yeah, but I'll be in California next week, so I'll miss that. Yeah.
Chris Johnson coming in.
Is he coming in from California as well? Yeah.
Ollie's disappeared.
Ollie's disappeared. He'll probably try and get back in again. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not going down to Ollie to sort his computer out. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it.
I'm going to have to get a piece of paper and hold it up and say, Ollie, we can't hear you. Or I could text him.
I think he knows.
Chris is in. Hello, Chris.
Good evening,
Hello,
guys.
Chris.
Evening, Chris.
Evening. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be in California next week, Chris.
Oh, really? Where are you going to be? San Pedro?
Well, we drive down to Cindy's aunt in Chico, which is like 100 miles north of Sacramento.
Right.
And because it's like so bloody hot there, she rents a place on the coast called Trinidad, just northern California. It's a beautiful fishing village, and we stay in a house there for a week just to cool off. It's nice. Yeah.
All right. Good.
That's
Bit
where
far
I'll
for
be.
me to come and meet up,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
but maybe next time you're off on a cruise in San Pedro, we should get together and meet down there.
Yeah. I lose track of the cruises. I'm not. In fact, look, it's funny. Here comes things now. I can't tell the boys what cruises I'm going on because it's ones they don't approve of.
Oh,
No.
I'm going to be a sailor on Virgin Cruises. That's what they call the passengers. And
sailor,
a sailor
sailor.
on
Oh
Branston.
my God.
Oh,
I know,
yeah,
I know.
I
It's beyond
understand.
it's beyond my control, Ray. And
I understand there's a load of swearing as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, I know there is.
Is
Yeah,
it-
I heard that. Yeah, over the Tamar.
Oh, Father
When,
the
when I when I was on the
Is this
Queen,
like,
when I was
Sorry,
on
go
the
ahead,
Queen
Chris.
Mary years ago, Disney took over running the ship for a number of years, and instead of like a Disneyland, in Disney World, they call them cast members. When they're on the Queen Mary, they called us crew members.
yeah. Crew member is very popular in Canada now for, fast food restaurants and things like this.
Oh yeah,
But this
same
is
here.
like the sanitary technician when you're cleaning toilets, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Have I got a bit of an echo here?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no. He does?
Because
Yeah.
I'm in my dining room and I just had there's no furniture in here. I just had it retiled yesterday, so
Yeah,
it's bare and it's got tile instead of carpet.
Yeah, it's not like a feedback.
Chris,
Okay.
Chris, just turn your mic volume down a bit. That should
Turn it
help.
down a bit. Okay, volume.
No, don't start being technical now, Fruity.
That's a good excuse. I'll use that one when my furniture gets repossessed.
Oh, Bobo the biker.
That's me. How are you
Like a
guys?
Bobo.
Yeah.
Well done,
Okay.
Bobo. Very
Is that better?
enjoyable
Is that
day today.
better? That's 50% now. I don't.
That's
100%.
good. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you just sound like Colonel when he's usually recording from a toilet somewhere around.
Listen, next Sunday, or for the Aussie Crew Bar, I will be in the bloody toilet again at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Is that where you go, Colonel?
Yeah, going down to Northern California.
I hope you're not meeting Macca in there.
No.
Not again. Not again. So look, welcome to obviously Blackpool, Bob, and there's Ollie as well. Ollie.
Evening, chaps.
Hello, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Can you hear us now, Ollie?
Have you
Hey,
just
guys.
have you been deck steward today? That's a nice little number you're wearing.
Who's that?
But Blackpool Bob.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh,
have you
yeah,
been-
no.
You.
San Miguel steward at lunchtime.
It's island
Island
night.
nights. Yeah.
I thought you were serving pims made with Coke.
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't know what you mean.
Tea.
Well, how dare you?
Lovely. Ollie, are you on the mattress? Ollie's frozen, isn't he?
He's had problems.
Oh, bless him. It's a shame, really, because he's such a nice fellow.
You can't hear us anything.
You can't hear us.
He should contact Steve Walker's Computer Solution.
Yes.
Is he contacting Steve Walker Anonymous?
Computer Solutions.
He'll fix it for him.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find him in. Not everybody has their names on the chat, so it's hard to find people sometimes.
Yeah, well, if you just click on the Seafarers, then it'll show you who's there.
Ollie's
Yeah,
in
but
there.
it doesn't give. I don't see his name on mine.
What, on Ollie?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't have his phone there. So,
I've got him. I got him.
Yeah, he'll be there. So, Bobo, you've had a good day in Southsea.
Absolutely. I've got the fold up bike, my niece's bike.
Yeah,
And it's red, and it's Red Terror.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that photo, the Captain Cook photo.
Yeah.
You look like Dame Edna in drag.
I tell you what, that was the best job I ever had at Captain Cook. every Saturday, the captain guy who used to do it was an actor, and he gave up the job, and he said, "Bob, do you want that job?" You know, I said, "Oh, you just stand outside the bottom of Circular Quay, just talk to people. You know, you try and sell a few tickets." But my job wasn't to sell tickets; it was just promote the business, and I had a ball. But there's so many people wanted to take your picture. I nearly had a scam going, $5 each time. Come down the road on the bits. But the Japanese, I'll tell you what, my picture is all over the world, but mostly in Japan. So if you've got friends in Japan, you may see a picture of me. Yeah.
Is Ollie asleep? I
He
just
must
messaged
be.
him twice and he hasn't moved.
No,
Ollie, can you hear us?
So, why didn't you give him a call on the blower, Dave?
I've done him a chat. I've sent him a chat on the Zoom link, and he hasn't responded.
But he hasn't even moved.
I'll give him a ring on his phone.
I don't think he's
I think
got
it's one of those. I think he just has a picture up in front of the camera.
Adam Tussauds, that's where he's come from.
Ray,
Yeah, he's not really home.
When you've been on as long as we have, we all sometimes just stick our own picture up just for the day, and we don't even come on it. All right.
I see he muted it, and then he.
You want me to find Oscar then?
Oh yes, please. Yes, yeah. I'm going to phone Ollie, so I'll just mute myself just for a second.
Yeah.
Let's see if he moves.
No movement.
Ollie,
Yes.
are you trying to get on?
Oh, hold on.
But I can't seem to get on.
We can't. We've got you on here, but you're frozen,
Oh, right.
and we can't hear you.
I would reboot your laptop. Reboot your laptop. Start it over again.
Say hello to the boys.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello, Ollie.
Hey, Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
We're
Hey,
back
Ollie.
to the old technical issues, John. Dave, Ollie's pocket.
Ollie's pocket. Yeah, I just heard what was happening, so I've come. I was trying to ring him, and he was engaged to you, Steve.
Yes, yeah. Well, he's sharing a room with me.
Congratulations.
He's sharing a room with me.
Yeah. Still.
He's right my roommate. Anyway, we've got you on, Ollie. You just froze. You're just staring at us.
That's okay.
You're just staring into space. Everybody thinks you're dead.
I feel like it sometimes.
Anyway, we'll leave you to it. See if you can get off and get on again.
Hey Steve, just tell him to completely turn his laptop off and reboot it. It's I know Chris Johnson knows this. It's the RAM in your device, which is like a memory thing, and that reboots it, and that may work for him.
Did you hear that, Ollie?
It'll probably.
He heard that. Leave him. Okay, leave it to him, mate.
Okay.
It'll probably fix the crew bar, but none of his other applications will work after it.
You know, it's like your iPhone. If you need to restart it at least once a day.
Yeah.
Sounds good. That sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's news? Anybody got any news?
Well,
nothing to tell us.
The big news is you're taking a cruise next week, Steve.
Yes, next Saturday. We're going down to Days on Friday. And we're joining the Sky Princess on Saturday.
From Southampton?
From Southampton, yeah.
I know.
Taxi.
Where are you going?
Taxi.
14 nights.
Car park attendant reporting in.
Yeah.
14 nights up to Norway.
Oh, you got Norway? Okay.
Yeah. I've got my car booked in for parking, and I think that also includes a full valet.
Well,
Washed and polished.
it certainly will, but we might have to re-look at the actual charge package, Stephen.
Actually, it includes overnight stay and a nice dinner at the Haven, which is a very posh place, which Dave took me and Cindy.
Johnny, don't start all that.
The Haven.
VIP, eh?
You'll be very welcome here, Stephen. Right.
I'll treat you to a McDonald's.
Hey, this is fantastic. Yeah.
You're all half.
Better every time.
Lovely. So Bobo, you're down south here as well.
Yeah.
You're through till the 23rd or something.
Till the 23rd. But Tappy is going to come. I think he said tomorrow he's going to be in Southampton.
Right.
And
How long's he down South Coast for?
I think he said till he's going home on Thursday. On Tuesday, we're going to try and take the bikes over to the Isle of Wight on the
Isle
Hobbit.
of Wight or the Isle of the other one near Portsmouth?
Oh, he's going to try and stay at Hailing Island.
So
Hailing Island.
what are the bikes' names? Return.
I always keep those a secret. Those names.
Return Laura.
Bikes. Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've never been over to the Isle of Wight, so that'll be good. So I don't know what it's like for cycling. So
it's good. It's all right. I mean, I haven't cycled, but I mean, it's all right. I mean,
Some of it's flat, but some's not.
Exactly. So it's not all flat.
Oh well, we'll see. But Taffy's been having trouble with that electric bike, his granny bike, and so he in Cardiff the other day. I met him, and I took him to one of these this guy that I go to. It's called Pedal Power, and he bought a secondhand bike. So he's actually got a bike, but it's not electric. No. So he had so much trouble with that bike that he bought in France.
Here comes Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie's back in, I think.
Has he got rid of that electric bike, Bobo?
It's a bit of a sore point with it. I'm not sure what's happening because the parts that he ordered, the guy in near where he is was trying to fix it, and he had it for ages. Then we took it to another guy in Cardiff the other day, and so I don't know what the outcome, but I think he's pretty pissed off with the
I thought he had a new one.
That's the one he bought. It's only less than a year old. It's a year old. He bought it.
Right.
The other one packed up in France, and he bought one in
Yeah,
France.
right. He did, yeah.
Well, that one packed up. Those electric bikes, I'm not a lover of electric bikes, but of course, if you struggle a little bit, that they are good, but so many things can go wrong with them. And usually it's after the first year. They're all good. Most of them are Chinese. They're good for a year, but so expensive. If the battery goes, I think he got a quote for a new battery for that bike, £250.
Bobo, can I ask, if you've got an electric bike, can you fall off of it into a ditch?
I think it's quite easy to do that.
That's what happened. That's what happened to Simon Cowell.
He was on an electric bike, was he?
It happened to someone else. Colonel, it happened to someone else as well.
Oh, there's somebody else in this crew bar that it happened to.
And it wasn't an electric bike.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh.
I might have to put it to the test. If the girls get to the final of the World Cup, I might try and pop down the pub. But I don't think I'm going to take the bike this time.
That'll be a
I
was only thinking of that yesterday, Fruity. I still get palpitations just going down the road past the ditch.
I can fall into a ditch.
But at least your
He says, that's the ditch I fell into. Steve.
Yeah, but at least your phone's not still in there.
Oh, thank God for that. I know, honestly, that was.
Were you drunk, Dave? Were you drunk?
That was so serious. It was serious, Anyway, no, I have got the phone.
I don't need a bike to fall into a ditch. Right. I can fall into it without one.
I came off one of those mopeds in Bermuda one time, and I had my camera around my neck, which was the company's camera. It was one of those Rolleiflexes we used to use on the Oriana. And it was a tele-rolly, very expensive. So one of the, because it has two lenses, I think the viewing lens got a little bent, but it didn't crack. I mean, it was okay to use, but
yeah.
I kept quiet about that one to the company. So
yeah, I mean,
I think I'd had a few. I think I'd had a few too.
David, do you remember on Sea Princess when I had a bike?
No.
What was her name?
What was her name?
Well, I'll tell you this little story. We were in Vila, and we went to one of the resorts, and me and Bacon went down on our bikes. And as you would know, we had a beverage. And when it was time to leave, I'd locked the bike up with a padlock and a key. And when we went, couldn't find a fucking key, could I?
No.
And it was somewhere in the sand. Anyhow,
Oh God.
I had to put this bike in the back of a cab and get the cab back to the ship. And just after we sailed, Mulder came round to the fruit machine room and said, "Oh, I hear you had a difficult journey back today then." But someone else found the key and brought it back.
Oh, that
Really?
was lucky.
That was lucky. Flipping
How
it.
did you
And
get
then the
bike?
other time, we were in Tonga and went for a bike ride. And I think it was me and Bacon, and we went for miles and miles. And we saw this sign that said bar. So we followed it. And then we realised it said it was a bar in Vavo, not actually in Nuku'alofa.
Good. Flipping heck. Yeah. But could we hire motorbikes out in Tonga?
Horses.
Was it or Suva? Well, Suva, and I'm sure we hired motorbikes somewhere sometime, and it's tarmac roads all going through the jungle.
Jungle.
Can't remember. And and the other time was in place is Santo, was it? One of the islands near Vanuatu.
Spirit of
Santa.
Santo.
Yeah, well, I went ashore there and got a fucking puncture.
They were talking about South Pacific.
Who put that picture up today about the flipping tire? It's only flat at the bottom.
Yeah.
I put it up.
You.
I say, talking about South Pacific, what about Lahaina?
Oh,
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
Terrible.
terrible.
I can remember us going there, but I can't remember if I ever went ashore.
Yeah, I've been ashore there a few times.
Yes, have I.
I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
I was there a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I was there a few years back. Yeah, very nice.
I used to go there with my wife to this little restaurant on Front Street called Avalon, and they used to have these two particular dishes which were so good, and the chef wouldn't give me the recipe, and I went back there with her a couple of years later, and he'd actually produced a book with a whole bunch of chefs from Hawaii, which featured the two recipes that I wanted. And so he signed this book and gave us the book. I've still got the book, and I'll get it in a minute and show it to you. But it's really sad that what's happened there is terrible.
Yeah.
But is it still hot with you, Ray?
Yeah, it's supposed to get hotter too. Like they're talking 40 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. On Monday, tomorrow, there's a big heat wave.
I think it's
coming
over
in. But
100,
we've been
right?
in continual heat.
Double it and add 30. That's near enough.
You do know that a little otter is like a warmer madras, don't you?
Something like that. Yeah.
You're talking about falling in ditches. I got to tell you a quick story. Quite a few years ago, we had a big family party for my mother-in-law and one of her sons, my brother-in-law, and she lives on this very tall hill, and they have a big deck, and there's a steep bank behind the deck, and we had, I don't know, 30, 40 people out on this deck, everybody drinking, and about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, everybody decided to go to the pub, which is just 5 minutes drive away. It's like just down the hill sort of thing. But I'd had far too much to drink. I didn't want to go to the pub. But my brother-in-law absolutely insisted, and he had a Jeep. And so he was bundling everybody into the Jeep, including me, and I climbed in and climbed out the back window, and he took off down the hill and didn't realize that I had climbed out the back window. So I went out onto the deck, which was now completely empty except for all the beer cans and the empty glasses and things like that. And I poured myself a rum and coke, and I sat there in the quiet dark with the stars. It's not in a city. It's in the countryside, and it was absolutely beautiful. And then I hear this roaring noise, and from where I'm sitting, I can look down the road, and his name's Matt. Here's Matt coming up the hill in the Jeep, has now realized that I wasn't there. And so I quickly ran off the deck and ran around behind a trailer to hide and fell. See you. And fell down this bloody ditch headlong, and it was full of bushes and things like this. So he came up, he heard me crawling around in the ditch trying to get out. He grabbed me, gave me a jet, put me in the Jeep, took me down to the pub, sat me in the corner, and then went over. He goes, "You're doing a shooter with me, you're doing a shooter." Well, I ended up doing about 3 shooters with him. But every time we went to go cheers like this, he would go cheers, and I would go like that and throw the shooter over my shoulder.
Oh,
Here comes Nick. Here comes Nick Howard from Canada.
oh, lovely.
Hi, guys.
Hello,
Hey.
Nick.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Nick.
I see
Hello,
you've all been
Nick.
wandering around the world since I last contacted you. I
Yeah.
see someone's in Margate with the palm trees behind you.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Hi, Nick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me. I remember you. It's Ray Sackery, and I hear you live in
yes.
Vancouver.
That's right. It's
Uh,
fairly tropical here. Where are you?
Powell River. You
Oh, it's
must know where
tropical
that
there
is.
as
It's
well.
just
I
up
can
the coast.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, just up the coast.
Yep. Lovely to see you.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
and
good
so
to see you too, Nick.
basically, except for Footy, none of them know why I gave you a heads up, Nick. So Footy, you can talk about the Oscar tale tonight as we
Yeah.
got the photographer.
Yeah.
Hi, Nick. I don't think we ever sailed together, but Oscar asked me to put together one of the Oscar tales, and it's all about when the Angelina Loro caught fire in St. Thomas,
I
and
remember that well.
all your photographs, and we've used them to put together this this video, which will be attached to the end of tonight's recording.
Great.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
that was unreal. It was like
Most of us were there, right?
Unfortunately, I could only find
I
one
was-
photograph of you at the time.
Yeah, I was camera shy.
I got a couple of photos from the guys on the Cunard Countess when they were pulling out. They took some pictures as they were pulling
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
I've
They had
got
to pull
lots of
out. They had to
pictures
pull
of
out
that.
early because it got so hot.
Well,
They were
I
next to
remember the
them.
heat. I remember the heat as we sailed past about 300 yards away. It was like as if you're in front of a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were you,
well,
were you
I was
on,
there.
you were on the Sun then, were you, Nick?
Oh yeah, we were
Yeah,
there that night.
Yeah, I was on the Sun. I was the photo manager on there.
The good old days when people
Yeah.
bought photos.
Yeah,
I was there.
when we had to develop them.
Yes, and you
I
sold
was
them.
there too. I was there too, Nick, that night, and I've got lots of pictures as well. And I've also got pictures the following week when we came back, where the rusted ship is there. And I've also got the report, which I actually sent to Brendan. But I've got the fire report from the fire, the report that they eventually published.
yeah.
I took it off the notice board and photocopied it.
Ray, some of that is in the video.
Okay, good.
I found it, and I've pasted parts of it into the video where Oscar's talking about different bits.
Yeah. That was a pretty interesting day and night, and we took all the passengers. A lot of the passengers traveled on the Sun Princess that night, sleeping on the
About
floor.
400 in the international lounge, apparently.
Yeah,
About that
I found a photo, and I don't think it's actually Sun Princess of people sleeping on a deck, but I don't think it's actually the right one. But it doesn't really matter because no one would know anyway.
There wasn't much deck space on that ship anyway.
Yeah, this looks like it's almost like a promenade deck type thing where these people have got bunk or mattresses on the deck, but it doesn't matter. It just fills the space.
Yeah, I remember that ship sitting there for 3 months. Hundreds of ships coming in and out, and seeing burnt out ship. I wonder they didn't stop cruising at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of our photographers from another ship went on probably about 4 or 5 weeks later, and did a lot of the photography for the insurance company, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, I found a couple. One was of the skillet, which is what caused the fire, and one of some ducting and the burnt out restaurant. I managed to find those.
But I went on that ship, and I remember it was all this wood paneling everywhere. It was very old and dated. It was an old ship, and so when you walked around it, before I went on there before it had the fire. When you walked around it, it was quite dated and old and dark inside. And
it was 40 years old, for Christ's sake.
I think
Yeah.
wasn't here originally a Holland America ship like the Ranger or something like that?
It was a Ranger, yeah.
I mean, when you look at the original ship and you see this ship, like between a caterpillar and a butterfly, they were so different.
Yeah.
Hello, Brendan.
Hi guys. Sorry I'm a bit late.
Brendan.
And then
Brendan, we got Nick Howard's in, and obviously
right.
we've got Ray obviously sunning himself out there in Canada as usual.
Tropical surroundings.
Yeah. And Brendan, obviously, I just wanted to ask, how did you know what shirt to wear? Because I've already mentioned Blackpool Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter had a summer party today, and so we all had to sort of dress up in summer clothes-ish, you know. I don't know what these are, leaves or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you look very nice, Brendan. All right.
All right, David.
You didn't say that to me.
All right.
You're dressed up in summer clothes and it's pissing down over there, is it?
It's a lovely day today here in Kent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That's glorious.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Got a bit of wind, but it's nothing too bad.
Well, I can see, but Brendan, you can see that BBC Pete's still out in the garden having a beer with you.
I know that was taken in. I think that was Ramsgate. No, that's in our house. That is.
That's your back garden.
Yeah, back garden. Yeah.
I know.
They're well behaved. They're all well behaved.
Actually, has anyone seen Charlie lately? I haven't seen him on.
Any news, Pete?
Well, no, I think he's put a couple of messages on the Crew Bar. He's about.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was him who put the one with the tyre on.
Because he's coming to Ireland with his wife, I think.
Yeah.
No, it was me that put the one with the flat tyre on, Pete.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you should be very proud of that, Fruity.
Yeah. So
it took me ages to pump it up.
I can see, apart from John who's cruising, are all of you guys still cruising on the ships?
No, not me.
Nice. I wish.
Yours truly is going on the Sky Princess next Saturday.
You know what I like? I don't know if anybody else has been on them, but the river cruises in Europe. I've been on a couple.
Have you been on, Chris?
Hello.
I've been on 2 ships.
I did. Just a minute. I want you to speak. Just a minute. I have someone who wants to speak to Nick Howard.
Oh, really?
Say hello to Nick.
We can't hear it.
Say hello to Nick Howard. You're on the Crew Bar.
Oh, hello, Nick Howard. It's Oscar.
Hello, Oscar. Are you taking a break from your walk down the cathedral nave? Or are you relaxing at home?
At home at the moment, I'm in the middle of cooking my Sunday dinner.
Oh, I thought you said Christmas dinner there.
I
know you're always well prepared.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Lovely to hear your voice again. I'll have to get you back live. I can see everyone. This is a good time of the year to have this. Everybody looks in Technicolor. Yeah. I'm looking forward to your video at the end.
Yeah. Charlie. Oh, talking about Charlie, who's here?
All right.
All right. Well
okay,
done,
Oscar.
Thanks, Oscar.
All right. Cheers. See you soon. Bye.
Cheers, Oscar.
Right, we're all going round to Oscar's for Sunday dinner.
Christmas dinner.
Oh, fucking hell. Charlie's got the straw hat on tonight.
Maybe he's had some red wine.
They must be
Oh,
hot. The
lovely.
fans on.
Yeah, the fans
Oh,
on.
blimey.
Look at this.
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie's got the fan going and the straw hat as well.
It must be hot.
Hey, the
Brendan,
fan's
ask him the
going,
question.
Brendan.
It's hot, all right.
Wow. Go on then. What's the temperature then, Charlie?
I didn't check, but I would say it's kicking the arse out of 90 if it's not there already.
Where are you,
Much like
Charlie?
California.
Pretty warm.
Yeah.
We're going to be 87 today is the high. It's about 80 now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'll pop and check in a minute.
Yeah.
How's everyone?
We're good.
Very good, thank you. And you?
Thanks, Charlie.
All good.
Yeah.
We were just talking about you in a nice way, by the way, Charlie. In a nice way.
That makes a change.
Yeah. But you're all right. You're keeping well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Good. That's
Bobo?
How are you, Charlie? Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty good, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
I see a new face there, Mr. Howard.
Yes.
Yeah, somewhat dated. Yeah, I haven't been around for a while.
No.
I'm still working as a travel agent.
Right.
I'm coming up to 75, but it keeps me out of mischief. Although I must say the clients drive me crazy. They seem to think they're doing you a favor by wanting to come in 5 minutes before the ship sails to book a cruise. Actually, I booked a cruise yesterday.
Isn't that how it's done?
Sorry?
Isn't that how it's done?
Yeah, in your life, yeah. But I booked a cruise yesterday, the very last cruise of the season. Could you imagine us cruising to Alaska on the 24th of September, coming back on the 1st of October, 40 odd years ago? We would have had a riot. Because I think our last cruise was around about first or second week of September on the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and then we went into Esquimalt.
We're looking at doing one next year ourselves here, me and the missus.
What ship?
But we haven't looked at that far ahead yet, but definitely going over that side and doing a cruise. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My son's flying out on Wednesday to, I don't know where he's going to in Alaska, and he's taking the ship down to Seattle.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
He's working on, he works for Holland America now. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of them. He started with P&O and then they transferred to Princess, and now Holland America's all part of the same, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, they're coming to Bermuda as well.
Carnival Corporation.
Yeah, it's all Carnival, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. He's taking one of the Holland Americas down to Seattle, so he'll be in Seattle in about just over a week's time.
I'll be in California, Bob.
And guys, look, I've got to go because I've got to go and grill a steak. But good to see you all, and I'll catch you next time. All right.
Good seeing you, Fruity. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye, Fruity.
Bye.
Yeah, Nick, I was saying
blimey.
I'm going on the Sky Princess next week for a 2-week cruise up to Norway.
I did I did the Holland America to Iceland last year.
Oh yeah.
That's the cheapest way to visit Iceland. Take a cruise. By far. Yeah. And Iceland's really worth visiting.
Yeah, John was there a few weeks ago.
It's worth visiting, Chris, but we are never ever gonna go on Icelandic Air again. And the airport at Reykjavik, absolutely a shit show.
Really?
Oh dear. Yeah. All right, Johnny. All right.
Well, tell the Icelandic Tourist Authority your feedback, John.
Anyway, Dave, say hi to Taffy.
I want to say hello, Taffy.
Come on.
Hello, Taffy.
I finally brought the hat in from the Taskmobile.
Well done. Well done, you. Yeah. So Taffy, Bobo was saying, you coming down in the next couple of days down the south coast then?
Yeah, I just had treated myself to a chocolate suggestive then. Sorry about that.
I got
But
to South Coast.
I'm knackered. I've been working all day getting the Taffmobile ready for going over the border.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Going south.
Going south. Yeah, well,
Got the
it'd be
razor- got
nice
the
to have
razor
you down
wire
here.
around it.
You got all your permits?
Yeah, I've got everything. I've got a clear run. I know all the back roads. If we were gun running or doing what we used to do, bringing stuff up in the back lift, I could do it back and forth to England, no problem. I know every little nook and cranny of them roads crossing the border.
So, Taffy, can you see Nick Howard's in from Vancouver for this week?
Yes, I heard him. And Nick, your name cropped up over the months, and years that the Crew Bar's been open. Your name's cropped up, and I couldn't put a face to your name. But
okay, well, when I worked on the ship, I wasn't allowed. We weren't allowed to have beards in those days. If I remember rightly. I'm not even sure the officers were allowed it.
Allowed what?
Sorry,
I didn't get that. Sorry.
What ship were you on, Nick?
I said I don't think we were allowed to wear a beard when we worked on the
Captain Crichton had a beard.
Yeah.
I think it was like if you already had an established beard, if you weren't a rating, they would let you keep it if you're an officer. But I know, Nick, you had a beard back then, didn't you?
Maybe at the very end, but
Yeah, I think so.
I seem to remember that you had a beard because I noticed it's not as dark as it used to be. You had quite a thick black beard.
Yeah. This is
But I
wait a bit.
But I do remember that you couldn't grow a beard. I had a terrible rash on my face one time, and the nurse, the doctor, a female doctor, gave me permission to let my beard grow out.
Only on one side?
No, it was on both sides. It was like a shaving rash. It was really bad. So she gave me permission not to shave.
Yeah.
Quite a few rashes over the years, deep sea, weren't there?
I think that's called carabum.
Ray's was shaving, was it? Oh, okay.
It's called carabum, but it's not on your face.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That wasn't me that mentioned it, boys. It was Brendan. All right. Oh yeah.
I remember there was a story. If you caught crabs, the thing to do was to throw a handful of sand on it, and the crabs will then stone each other to death. That's how you got.
Okay.
Well, I was told you sit on the loo, wait till they go for a swim. Get up.
Wow.
I don't know. Happy days.
I would think working on a ship now would be a little boring compared to the times we had. We used to say before BC, and I would say to my clients, well, they would say to me, "What do you mean by that?" And I'd say, "Before computers and before cameras, life was a lot of fun on the ships. Now, actually, you can't do anything on the ships.
Pretty tight.
Yeah.
Actually, Nick, can you imagine if we were on the ships? This is all hypothetical. With the technology today, we could have done the Crew Bar, the Channel 4. It could have been a live broadcast around the world.
Oh, easily, yeah.
You would have Channel 4 News.
Yeah,
I
Channel 4 News could have been around the world.
Yeah.
No, I think on the ships now they even have random breathalyzers, right?
Oh yeah.
Pretty certain. Yeah. So that would count us all out, right?
Well, I'll tell you what.
I think. Yeah, absolutely. That would be working.
Yeah. Well.
What are you saying, John?
I was saying that the worst, talking about breathalyzer, the worst cruise we ever went on was a booze cruise from LA to Catalina on Carnival. I tell you what, we walked up to the deck and they were already cutting people off an hour after they got on board because they were drunk as skunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went down, and that night went down to the restaurant. I always remember this. Me and Cindy, we sat. We were given a table of 4, and opposite us there was two tables of 6, 2 separate tables. One of them was teenagers. They had their feet on the table, on their cell phones, snapping at the waiters. The parents were like the next 6 over, didn't give a shit.
No,
that's the way it was. Yeah.
Doesn't
That was
any,
the worst. Sorry, those were the worst cruises. Were the 3-day positioning cruise from LA down to Ensenada, and it was an absolute nightmare.
Those party cruises.
It's good for the good for the handbag, but
yeah. Liz and I did a cruise a few years ago. It was on, I think it was Royal Caribbean. It was a free cruise because it was just travel agents, 1,200 travel agents, which was nice because it's a ship. It was a ship that carries normally 3,500 people. So there's 1,200 travel agents and their guests, so 1,200 altogether. And the booze was free for everybody for 3 days down to Ensenada and back.
Yeah.
Oh man, you should have seen people the first morning after the cruise left, night before.
Yeah.
Everybody started slowing down a bit after that drinking. But,
they probably look like the crew. They probably look like the crew the second day, like the rest of us.
Yeah.
It sounds like it sounds like
that was during COVID. Actually, that was during COVID. And everybody had to have negative tests done within 24 hours of boarding.
Yeah.
Hello, Colin.
Good evening, people. Sorry a bit late. I had visitors.
Hey, Colin.
So they've now gone. So I'm here chatting away.
Wonderful.
Would you actually believe
Colin.
it? I managed to get on by myself without Louise.
Wow.
No, we don't believe you, Colin.
I'm afraid you have to because she's in Cornwall. She's in Cornwall. So I got in by myself.
Well
She'll
done.
not believe that you're on your own, Colin.
Yeah. And Colin, can you see everybody? Can you see Nick Howard's? Nick Howard's in today.
Hello, Nick. How are you, mate?
I'm doing pretty good. Aging slowly.
Yeah, but we're all doing the aging slowly bit. Yes.
Yeah. But no, doing well. Still working. For most times, the office work as a travel agent is good. There are days when the laundry looks more appealing, depending on clients who can't make up their mind.
I am now completely a man of leisure. I don't do anything. I've retired completely.
You have a butler, do you?
Sorry?
You have a butler?
Do I have a butler? Yeah, she's away in Cornwall at the moment.
Okay. This is recorded, Colin. This is
I don't care.
That bit out.
Listen to it. She won't
So
listen to it.
You're living off frozen meals at present.
No, not
And
at
in the future.
all. We just Alex and Dan were here with our granddaughter as well, and we just had a nice little chicken casserole with some savoury dumplings, and I did it all myself because I'm good at these sort of things.
Lovely.
Well done.
Fresh vegetables and everything.
I'm okay when my wife goes away because I do all the cooking here anyway. I wouldn't starve to death.
No,
that's all right. That's
I would never go hungry. I've got a big repertoire of food that I can do. Huge amount of menus that I can get by on.
Lovely. Have you mentioned this to Oscar because he's doing another roast tonight?
Yeah. Oscar's having a roasting. Sorry, what did he say?
Still, anyway. So Colin, you've got your lovely ladies down in Cornwall. Is she visiting friends or on holiday?
Well, she's gone to her sister's, but she's gone there for a specific reason this time. Her sister lives in St Ives, which is a lovely place, as we probably all know. And she's gone to a 3-day pottery thing from the Bernard Leach studio. Anybody know of Bernard Leach, famous potter?
No.
Heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, not Harry Potter.
I
No,
was going to say that's the only famous one I know.
right. No, Bernard Leach. I think he's long past, but his studio is
Okay.
is
Whoa! Guess who's on the phone?
no idea.
Everybody be quiet. So
Donald Sutherland.
Billy Vader.
No, please, everyone quiet. Mr. Vader, please say hi to the Crew Bar.
Oh, I was correct.
I wish I was with you, but I can't sign in because I'm a stupid, dumb son of a bitch.
Hey, Billy. It's Chris in California. You came to my wedding many years ago. Photographer.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Everything going? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Everybody's good.
Hi, Billy.
Still married to the same lady, anyway.
Billy, it's Colin Doughty. You remember the Muppets in the Starlight Lounge?
Well, I still wear a hairpiece, but I wear it on my crotch.
No, you remember the Muppets in the Starlight
Yeah,
Lounge?
of course. How could I forget? How could I forget the Sun Princess?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's engraved in my memory for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was the greatest job I ever had in my lifetime, ever.
Well,
Ever.
This was the greatest ship we ever worked on, and I worked on 9 ships, and the Sun Princess was just the experiences that we can always look back.
It was the best. You know how I
It was
missed
the best.
that old Dutchman that used to sit and sell us shit. What was his
Rudy
name?
Drew. Rudy Drew.
Rudy. I'm sure
Rudy
he's dead a
Drew.
long time.
So,
Yes, he is.
Billy.
Hey, Billy, this is. Sorry, go ahead.
Billy,
Dave.
is Dave Inge here? Do you still go roller skating?
No, you know what? I'm 82, and I feel like jumping back on my skates, and my wife thinks I'm crazy, but I'm gonna try it.
Well, the memories of
Be
you
careful.
roller skating the Panama Canal, I'll never forget.
Hang on, I got a 97-year-old grandmother that can't see, and she's asking. She'll be out in a minute.
Is the grandmother computer savvy? She can show you how to get on Zoom, Billy.
No, this is a tough thing to do, man. A tough thing to do.
No, all you got to do is you click on the link on your phone and you'll be on.
I know, but I can't remember my damn email.
No, you
don't need that.
You don't need the email. You click on the link I sent to you.
Or copy and paste it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll tell you what, if you guys put it off until next week, somebody call me ahead of time and tell me how to do this. I'll get on with you.
Okay.
I'm super stupid.
Just do it on your phone, yeah. If you don't want to do it on a computer.
Remember the act.
Hey,
I
Billy.
got like all
Billy.
of the other acts that I saw, you know.
Hey, Billy, I just wanted a quick. It's Ray Sacri, and I just wanted to say it's great to hear your voice. And I'm sure you remember me and my wife Karma. We're still together, and it's great to hear you.
Hey, I'm still with Claudia. Can you believe that? She's finally of age.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm not.
Oh no, that's brilliant, brilliant.
Well,
whoever thought we'd be together this long? Everybody,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Hey, Billy, you get less for murder. You get less time for murder.
Well, I got a sad moment in my life just recently. My barn burnt down, and it took all my videos.
No,
no.
1,700 videos went up in flames.
Wow.
Oh God, that's bad.
It was all the offline stuff, you know. But I still have my masters of a few of my movies that I made for Princess. So I still got that. And I'm old. Who gives a shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you? We can still remember all your jokes, but did you carry on doing comedy?
Yeah. Well, listen, I keep getting reminded of jokes all the time. Keith Cox still calls me up. Anybody remember Keith? Keith Cox? Anyway,
no.
He became a big shot with another company, and he gave me one more shot to do it. I walked out on that stage, and I couldn't remember a goddamn thing. And I said, ladies, no, true story, man. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you this, but I can't remember nothing. And everybody tried to spur me on by throwing jokes at me and stuff, And I just, this is the most embarrassing show I've ever done in my life, but I've got to quit. So,
hey, because we worked in the Starlight Lounge for hundreds of times, hundreds of days, and watched your show over and over again. Any one of us could just do the whole show for you. We'll write it all down.
Yeah, how do you think that? Everybody but me.
Actually, I've got a question for Billy. Can you give us a John Young impersonation, Billy?
In the event of a drama, which is kind of that ugly, cumbersome gadget hanging somewhere in the vicinity of the room. We ask that you carry this bulky affair due to the fact that oppressive people running with life jackets on, getting caught in doorways, have a tendency to conduce unnecessary flap.
Very good.
Well
Very
done.
good.
Oh, round of applause, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I remember trying to, we were editing John Young's Lipo Drill, which, number one, his pauses are longer than the damn video, right? Trying to figure out how to make it work and get it in a video because it was so funny, right? And while we were doing this, what's his name? The cruise director that I talk to occasionally.
Chris Chapman.
Chris Chapman.
Was the cruise director on the Sun.
Chris Chapman.
I talked to Chris, and now I didn't know Chris started a restaurant. Okay, I had no idea him and his buddies started a restaurant.
Siamese Princess.
It was a Thai food restaurant. Now we're editing in Santa Monica in this big dark room with a lot of money to edit this thing, to do it right. Okay, and we're editing it, and we called out for food. And somebody said, "What kind of food?" I said, "How about some Thai food?" I said. And they went and they ordered it. And Chris Chapman brought it there. And as he walked in the room, John Young was saying, "In the event of a drama." I thought Chris Chapman was going to faint, fall over, and flip over the top. I mean, he went, "Oh my God." He went, "Oh my." He looks up on the screen. There's John Young on 4 screens. And he went, "Oh my God." He kept saying that over and over. And we flipped on the lights and he saw it was me. And he went, "Oh my God, Billy. Oh, Jesus. I thought I was having a bad dream." Anyway, that was a true story, by the way.
What's the chance of that happening? Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, Major. Just dumb stuff, but it happens all the time. And cruising was the greatest job in the world. I wouldn't even go on a cruise with 5,000 people. I wouldn't even go to a city that has 5,000 people. You imagine that? You imagine that? Just waiting to get off. What lipo are you in? 600.
You imagine going into St. Thomas and there's like 6 ships with 5,000 people on dock there.
Yeah.
Mental.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
It's sad to see Mount burnt, that's for sure. Got a lot of good times down there. I wish I could see you. I wish we were working together, but I'll do it. I swear to God.
Okay, Billy.
I'll do it.
John will tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, the next Crew Bar will be 2 weeks from today, Billy.
No problem. Call me ahead of time, or I'll call you, or sometime we'll get in touch. because right now I'm dealing with the insurance company.
Okay.
Trying to get my list in for all of the stuff we lost.
Okay.
And we lost tons of stuff. So I'll get back to you guys. God bless you.
Okay, Billy. It's been special.
Cheers, Billy.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Good
Billy.
talking, Billy. Take care.
Good
Yeah.
to hear,
Oh,
Billy.
brilliant.
Bye, bye, mate. Bye.
Fantastic.
just
Well
like
done,
to
Johnny.
say-
But wow, well, I'll tell you what, guys. A couple of things. So, some weeks I forget to send in the link. Every week I send in the link, and thank God he called me during the crew bar. Because if he called me after we gone off the air, then it's nothing, right?
No.
So that I know it went into the Billy Vader show, but I mean that was incredible. So yeah, I'm good.
It's a special, but
Yeah, it's good.
is Ollie? Ollie, is that right? You can hear us, Ollie.
No,
Ollie?
we can't.
Yes.
Well,
I texted Ollie and he said he can hear us, but he can't get a picture. But he can hear us. So
Ollie, can you hear us? But we can't hear you or see you.
well, if you can't talk, then we don't know, do we?
You want to tell us?
No, Steve.
I'm an expert at this, Dave. Remember, I'm an expert.
Steve,
Ollie, if you can
we've talked to you in the dark a lot of times.
Just wave if
Ollie,
you can. Yeah.
Ollie,
can't
if you
even
can
see
hear
him.
us, give us a thumbs up.
I can't even see him. Where's he going? I can't even see him.
It's a shame Ollie's not there.
I've got to go, guys. I'm sorry. Got to leave you. I'll see you
No,
in a fortnight's time, Albin. All right.
And don't forget, Nick, don't forget the Oscar story after Bob. It's a special one.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right. It's good to see you.
And
oh, fucking hell. I've lost the picture now.
Nick, your royalties for your photography will be sent from Fruity, the guy who's got the big bank account.
Okay.
Although it might send it in the old 10-piece thing, the old 2 shillings. He's got lots of those.
Bob, the old 2 bob.
I'll receive it in my lifetime, will I?
Hang on, Chris. Who's the family member?
This is London, my Boston Terrier.
Oh,
she's pretty old now. She's 14 and a half. And as I said earlier, I just had my dining room floor done, so I've got the kitchen and dining room tile now. So she slips and slides on tile a bit.
Oh, bless her. Flipping heck. Yeah, she's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flipping heck.
John, have you been on the Majestic yet?
No. I lose track of the ships we go on, Nick, because Cindy gets a lot of stuff. We're going on a Virgin cruise, which is going to be interesting in December, and also we're going onto the new Celebrity ship on its inaugural cruise.
Yeah, I can see you've done some marvelous trips there. Yeah, we're on the Majestic on the 16th of September to Alaska, 10 days. Biggest ship we'll ever be on. I mean, like it's 9 times the size of the sun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We just want the experience. We don't want it's just to see what it's like. But we usually cruise just Holland America locally because it's very convenient. And in my work, sometimes if I have to cancel, I can do with Holland America very easily because of their platinum plan.
Yeah.
The other cruise lines give you credits. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I really appreciate you coming on, Nick.
Well, I look forward to it. It's been really nice.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
Great to see you again, Nick.
Good seeing you, Nick.
Colonel, are you putting up the thing then?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You are. You can see Colonel stood up now, so you can get a message that things are starting to go on the move now. Look, it's the show's going mobile.
The traffic lights are up.
He wants to try. I can't find the traffic lights. I don't know where are they? Oh, there they are. Here he is. There's the traffic lights. That was lucky. Cheers, Brendan. Oh, he's got his up as well.
Yeah.
So, Donut, don't forget, after this one, do watch the end of it because Oscar is coming on for an Oscar story, a new one.
Okay.
And this is thanks to a lot of photographs from Nick Howard and others, but it'll be a good one. Be a good one.
Does it follow on from this?
Yeah, it will do. Yeah.
So do I have to come out or stay on or what?
No. When you watch the recording, when Colonel puts it
Oh,
together.
I see. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Recording.
About the Kililaro burning.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mm.
Oh,
remember
blimey, I
that,
remember that.
I was in the
I
Star
do
Wars.
remember
Very
that day.
interesting. Yeah,
That was a sad sight to see that.
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. All right.
That's
folks.
that whole
All right,
thing is on
guys.
the internet anyway. You know that, don't you?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Time to say goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Colonel's going
Ciao,
to close
everybody.
the show, but cheers,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye all.
Next
Bye
time.
all. I'll see you in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Cheers.
All
Have a
right.
good cruise, Steve.
Cheers.
Enjoy your cruise.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
enjoy the cruise, Steve.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you, Steve, before you go.
Oh yes, David, you will. You're my car
Yeah.
park attendant, remember?
I'll be there. I'll be
All
there.
right,
There
bye.
you go. 3,
Cheers,
2,
Cheers, mate.
1.
Hello, everyone. This is Oscar from Ollie's Pocket with Oscar Tales. The tale of the Angelino Loro fire in St. Thomas. On the 8th of September 1938, in the Netherlands dockyard, the MS Oranje was launched and on trials made a speed of 26 knots. She made her maiden voyage for the Netherlands Line in 1939 and went on to serve the company for 25 years' service. This was interrupted during the Second World War when she saw service as a hospital ship. She had been built to carry passengers to the Dutch West Indies and carried a crew of 385. She was sold to Floto Loro Lines in 1979 and converted to one class for 800 passengers. Under her new name as the Angelina Loro, she entered the immigrant trade and later, after another refit, became a cruise ship. She ran as a cruise ship for Loro Line and later was chartered to Costa Lines for 7-day round-trip Caribbean cruises from San Juan and back. Her last port of call was St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands the day before her return to San Juan. On Friday the 30th of March 1979, at the West India dock, five cruise ships were berthed along the long wharf lined with cargo sheds. On the land end of the dock nearest town in order were MV Sun Princess, MV Americanus, MV Carla C, MV Cunard Countess, and MV Angelina Loro. The fire broke out in the aft crew galley and rapidly spread through the ship and the passenger accommodation, with most of the passengers and crew ashore and all the senior officers at a special luncheon at a restaurant downtown. A fairly junior grade officer was left in charge. Meanwhile, on the Sun Princess, your friend and mine, Nick Howard, public room steward, having given the day off, and picking up his trusty camera, went ashore to take some interesting photographs. Little did he know just how interesting they would be. And now we can thank him for the next series of photographs that we view all these years later. Strolling to the end of the dock, Nick sees a commotion going on. The photo shows a police car and a fire engine in yellow, which have just arrived, and Nick continued to the gangway. This photo shows smoke coming from the open gangway door and the upper large windows of the public rooms, which the ever helpful crew had opened to get rid of the smoke. and thus were admitting large amounts of oxygen to the grateful fire, so it could continue galloping along merrily. It also shows stewards exiting the ship, which begs the question, why are they not at fire stations on board the burning vessel? This picture shows an ambulance. This, in fact, was the first emergency vehicle called for a slightly burnt crew member. The ship had still not told the shore authorities that they had a fire. Even after fighting it for an hour, all sounded the alarm. And it was this ambulance crew that alerted the fire brigade and the police. The fire brigade sent one small fire engine, as you can see, and in this picture they stretched a hose up the gangway. Two crew members in this picture also do not seem to be at their fire stations on board, but are on the dock. This picture shows massive amount of smoke coming from the windows on the published room decks, from the aforementioned open windows. And judging by the amount of smoke, it cannot be far from flashover. The picture shows a second red fire engine of somewhat ancient vintage, and what appears to be a fire chief's car. This picture shows the Cunard Countess berthed next to the burning vessel, and she stayed there for some hours. But when the fire began to look threatening to the safety of the Cunard ship, they pulled in their lines and actually cut the last mooring line, as no dock workers were around to let them go, and took off for San Juan, so not to catch fire themselves. This picture also shows crew members taking items from the opened lower gun ports on the wharf side. I'm sure the fire was given another boost by this helpful amount of oxygen from underneath the burning flames. This picture shows massive amounts of smoke from all the upper decks and almost the length of the vessel, and a huge amounts of passengers now returned to the ship milling around on the dock. Shortly after this, the police started ordering people off the West India dock. Meanwhile, back on the Sun Princess, Captain John Young decided to act. He sent his officers along to the burning vessel, and they invited the passengers of the Angelina Lauro to come back to the Sun Princess to take shelter. He also gave the order, no crew allowed on board Sun Princess from the burning vessel, as he thought they had acted disgracefully by not looking after their passengers. Along with everybody else, Nick, our intrepid cameraman, was herded off the dock by the police, and as night fell, he took up a viewpoint on the hill behind the West India dock and continued to take pictures as the fire went from strength to strength and burst out the top of the vessel. Meanwhile, Oscar had gone to work in the Starlight Lounge at the top of the Sun Princess. No passengers were there, they were all out watching the fire. We had a small transistor radio tuned to the local radio station. They kept interrupting the program every few minutes with the announcement, "Will all municipal water tankers please go immediately to the West India dock?" We thought this strange, as any other fire brigade would have dropped their hoses into the sea, lapping up the dockside. It later turned out that the fire chief did not want any nasty salt water corroding his nice shiny fire engines. This shows white-hot flames from the very center of the ship, and flames shooting up into the night sky. This picture now shows burning material from the fire floating along in the gale force wind produced by the fire itself. This was the last picture Nick took before returning to the ship, as it was getting close to sailing time. The whole ship is now white-hot flame, and all the water poured on her was gradually sinking her, and she actually sank at the dockside in an upright position. On the Sun Princess, our passengers were giving items of clothing to the distressed Angelino passengers who had lost everything and were in shorts and beachwear they were wearing from that morning. Neil Whitmore, Maitre D' Hotel, organised a buffet dinner for them and next morning a continental breakfast. A conference with the Coast Guard and Captain John Young decided that, as the Sun did not have enough lifeboats for everyone, that some Angelino passengers would transfer to the Cala Sea for the trip to San Juan. The Americanas refused to accept any of the stranded cruise passengers. As both ships had more than its lifeboat capacity, the trip to San Juan was escorted by Coast Guard cutter in case of emergency on either vessel during the night. During the trip across, the entertainment staff put on a show for our unexpected guests, and then we bedded them down for the night in the International Lounge with spare bedding, making do as best we could. Next morning in San Juan, we disembarked all our guests and then prepared for another cruise. We all felt very sorry for the poor people who had lost everything in the fire through no fault of their own, and they were then to go home in only what they stood up in. Of course, the Maritime Inquiry now looked into the incident. Next week, I will tell you about what happened next in part 2 of the Angelino Loro tale. Well, that's all, folks, for this week. From Oscar. Oh, and always remember,